Wave 3 News meteorologist Brian Good here. Another update after the 9 o'clock hour now on the Snow Talk, and appreciate you guys watching the video. We're still analyzing all the data coming in, as well as the radar trends and temperature trends. We've had a few adjustments we're going to discuss. Always welcome your comments and your conversations we have here. I appreciate the conversations on Twitter. We're not going to be harsh on you guys and pick on you or anything like that. We've seen some interesting conversations flying around the social network world tonight. But either way, we love you guys, and we really appreciate your report. So keep the comments going here. It's a team effort between all of us, really, when it comes to these events, because the radar and the data we get only tells us part of the story. You guys complete the other part. All right, now that we've all spread some love, here we go with the latest look at the radar. And we've had some sleet reports all the way into the metro, and as far south as Hillview, into areas of Bullitt County. That's the main area I've noticed so far as being the further southern point here to pick up any type of sleet action that's been reported. The radar showing snow. A lot of this, though, is sleet. The latest airport reports of the airplanes that have been taken off from Louisville International heading northbound have reported that the warm layer over the city of Louisville is eroding enough to keep it sleet. Once they cross into Clark County, though, it becomes a deeper warm layer, or a cold air, I should say, and the warm air is pretty much gone, and that's why we're getting so many more reports of snow taking place the more north you go into that deeper layer. Most of this is snow, at times mixing with sleet to the west of us. Overall, when I widen out the view, I fully expect all of this to really hold steady for the next few hours. I don't see a lot of change in this line really moving here the next, I would say, 4 to 5 hours, really. And that was indicated on the models very well the past few days. This rain snow line, or sleet line, if you will, would hold steady right along the Ohio River, and if not, just south of it across areas of West Kentucky. But it would hold steady for a while and keep most of the action across our northern counties as we head into, say, about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Eventually, this line, as the low gets better organized in phases, will begin pushing more to the south. The cold air will. That's still a few hours away. So a lot of you are saying, hey, you know, the sleet in Louisville, is that a sign that we're going to get more snow than expected, or is everything off track now with the forecast? No, it's not. You know, the transition zone, you get this fluctuation of warm layer and cold layer thicknesses that take place, so it's not surprising to see some sleet a little further south in the river. That's why it's very hard to pinpoint this zone more than any of them when it comes to timing issues of which type you'll see of what. Much easier the more north you go, and obviously the more south you go. Let me broaden out the view even further on the radar, and you'll see what's happening here as we broaden the scope out. You see how the snow is coming down. Many reports of snow now. As you head into areas of Indianapolis, we're seeing about a little over an inch of snow. Some spots are closing down 3 inches in central areas of Indiana. Pretty wild. We're waiting for those. What's happening here, moving into areas of Arkansas. We call this like a jet streak, if you will. It's moving in. This is going to allow a surge of moisture and some banding of the snowfall to take place as it moves through. Now, the rapid refresh model is picked up on 2 bands, and I agree with that idea, only for one reason that I've seen many times happen here. You get a band that'll set up. It kind of gets thrown at us, a steady band of moderate snow. And then it'll kind of fade out, and then you get a second band that generates just south of it and then continues on from there as the low gets better phased and heads off to the east. So I do think this first band will be enough to give some 4-inch totals, if not higher, north of Louisville. It's that second resurging band, it's a question mark, and it could develop very close to Louisville. It could actually be north and east of us and track into Ohio, but it does look like there will be at least a second surge. It could certainly develop. So I could easily paint, you know, the whole area 4 to 6 inches, but I try to narrow it down as best I can to be specific for you guys with the 2-band look to the snow accumulation map that you'll see in a second to explain that. For those of you to the south, it's just, you know what, the transition's really going to hurt you for a while here before you really get cold enough to get into some of the action. So if you're from, say, Shepherdsville through E-Town, Bardstown, and to the south, you know, 1 to 3 inches still is holding true for you guys overall. But the transition time period is crucial in how much you get close to that 3-inch mark versus the 1. But across Indiana, we're very confident in you guys. Everything looks to be on track for Southern Indiana for warning level snow looks to be met. In Louisville and along, say, Shelbyville, heading through Goshen all the way down to Breckinridge County. This is the area that's questionable because of that second band that could develop. I'm still unsure on how this will play out. Right now for Louisville, we've got half the area in 2 to 4, and the other half in 1 to 2. So 1 to 4 pretty much splits up the Louisville Metro right now when you want to really break it down, and then much lighter amounts to the south. So that's how we're setting things up here for the late night hour. How this all configures here to the west is going to be crucial. But temperatures are not below freeze and not even close to it here in Louisville. So even if we did switch to snow aloft, a lot of that would melt and not accumulate. And that's important to know because that can cut down on your totals compared. And the models don't really do a good job on it. They can really exaggerate snow totals because they consider sleet snow. And they add that into the accumulation and it kind of throws things off. Here's the latest rapid refresh. About midnight tonight, we're in this still this snow sleet zone mixing back and forth in northern Kentucky, far southern Indiana. It should be all snow here in southern Indiana for the most part and accumulating by midnight. As we went to 2 o'clock in the morning, quite a bit of sleet and at times some big flakes mixed in with that along northern Kentucky, including Louisville at 2 in the morning, and a band here of moderate to occasionally some pockets of heavy snow potentially in our southern Indiana counties that really will add to your accumulation. As we went to 5 in the morning, you see now we're getting to the freezing mark. The main band of sleet to the south of Louisville. This should be a light to moderate snow in Louisville just in time for the morning rush. The rapid refresh has us at 32 degrees at 5 a.m. Right now it's running about a degree too warm for us. Too cool, I should say. So we probably be closer to 33 at 5 a.m. But awful close. We'll see how that plays out. And then by 8 o'clock we drop to 31 according to the model, with this all being snow and through here. And still accumulating before it comes to an end. So here's the snow accumulation map. You may have seen this. Only slight adjustment. Not much change here to the band in Indiana. I still think that 46 potential is there. I just added a very thin band. And don't take this literally. That's why it's faded out. You want to go for the deeper blue, which will run you basically through here. Will be your main zone for anything about 4 inches or more. East northeast of Louisville. Kind of iffy on this section of the line. That's why it fades out so much. But again, Bardstown, Litchfield, Lebanon, all you guys are mainly in that 1 to 2 and 2 to 4 band. All depends on how it plays out for your transition. So that's the latest right now. Not a lot has really changed. Everything's on track for timing. We're just going to keep evaluating this hour by hour. All right, stay tuned. Keep the reports coming. #Away3Snow.